Bueno, pues estamos aquí porque vamos a reaccionar a nada más y nada menos que el nuevo stream que se ha estrenado, tráiler realmente, del Cyberpunk. Se ve tan rojo en la cámara. Será por el fondo. Evidentemente son 3 horazas de stream y no voy a reaccionar a las 3 horas, pero al menos el inicio, ¿sabes? Unos 20 minutos vamos a reaccionar a esto. A ver, que esto no se escuche muy fuerte. Vamos a adelantar esto. Joder, 1 hora, tío, con el menú este. Me mola mucho, es que no lo veis, pero me mola mucho cómo han puesto palmeras aquí. ¿Sabes cómo está en el Predman del videojuego del rollo Synthwave tan molón? Ahora antes, tío. Pues bueno, voy a hacer esto más pequeño. Ve las palmeras que os decía que... 9 minutos. Ah, estoy nervioso, a ver qué nos muestran. Al final son 2 horas, ¿sabes? De la pancarta esa dando huertas. Estoy nervioso, ¿sabes? Esto se me escucha, sí, esto suena también. Okidoki. Suena más fuerte que el mío. Como no me fío, le voy a bajar. Y ya está. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Dentro. A ver qué nos muestran. Estoy muy hipeado con este videojuego, ¿sabes?
Welcome, my name is Holly and I'm the UK Head of Communication here at CD Projekt Red, and I will be your host for today as we take a deep dive into Cyberpunk 2077. We're going to be showing you a video with new gameplay and new gameplay mechanics, and afterwards I'll be joined
Nuevo
by three of
gameplay,
our
nuevo
developers,
gameplay.
Miles, Philip and Pavel, as we take a closer look at some of the things you're going to see and hopefully answer some of your questions. On behalf of everybody at CD Projekt Red, we're incredibly excited to share this new look at Cyberpunk 2077 with you.
Bueno. Oh.
Hey V, you all right?
Sería muy guay verlo en español.
Let's do this.
¿Empezó hielo? Carajo. Esto es muy raro, ¿eh? Que nos metan en una de estas de hielo. Y nos echa más encima, tío. ¿Qué somos?
Johnny.
Esto es muy raro, ¿eh? Se ve bien. Voy a quitar mi de este porque no se ve.
Where are we?
Our BBS, Data Fortress. Bridge to the deep net. Beyond there are no borders.
A ver. Creo que ahora ya se habrá solucionado.
Black Wall.
Y creo que ahora... Ya la música como mola. ¿Será en tercera persona? Ojalá este juego tuviera tercera persona. Toma.
Welcome to the Cyberpunk 2077 2019 deep dive video. In last year's gameplay reveal, We showed you our vision for the world of Cyberpunk 2077. Its
El
quests
cose, tío.
and
Cuántas
visual
cosas de
design.
los 80, ¿sabes?
This year, we'd like to give you a peek at some of the playstyles you'll be able to adopt as your character progresses through the story.
Here goes nothing.
You're about to see sequences embodying two distinct approaches to playing Cyberpunk.
Tiene minimapa.
We'll show you a strong solo build, that is, a character who focuses on employing blunt force,
Se supone que el género ya no importará.
and a netrunner build, a playstyle taking frequent
¿Se
advantage
llama
of
Blade
stealth
Runner en serio?
tactics, hacking, and battlefield control achieved using malicious software.
Que se llama Blade Runner el tío.
Additionally, you'll learn more about Pacifica, one of the game's districts, two gangs, the Animals and the Voodoo Boys, and you'll see glimpses of Johnny Silverhand, the digital construct who haunts
Hey,
our main
Keanu
character,
Reeves.
V. A word of caution. Given that the video covers a section of the game deep into the main storyline, we have edited the footage to contain as few spoilers as possible. Be aware
Bueno,
that the
dicen
gameplay
que va a tener
as
spoilers,
presented
al menos te
does
avisan.
reveal characters and
No
locations
como otras
you'll see while
empresas
playing the
tipo
game's main
Sony
storyline.
que te
So watch
meten
at
ahí
your
todos
own
los spoilers.
discretion.
A menos que te están avisando.
Where are we headed?
Nivel 40.
This way.
Mira tú.
In this
Nice
video,
city.
you'll experience a segment of a quest from the middle of the game. We're currently in Pacifica, one of Night City's 6 unique districts.
No Pacifica well.
Está muy guapo el juego, ¿eh? Está encantando, tío. Es como ver lo que llevo con poco de eso de Sync convertido en realidad, tío.
Uncertainty struck the global economy. Investors pulled their funding, leaving most establishments
Mira,
unfinished.
tío, las
It's one of
ciudades.
those places where expectations and
Está muy
reality
guapo el
collide,
juego.
resulting in a
El
heap
nivel
of
de arte es brutal, tío.
Ongoing gang wars plague this part of the city.
Hostia, la moto de Tron o la de Akira, tío.
They don't have to. Even by Night City's
Al
standards,
menos sabemos que
it's
tiene tercera
dangerous to
persona
let
cuando
one
conduces.
Taking a casual stroll here would not be a good idea.
Pones la moto de
A
Akira o la de
fast
Tron y yo ya
or
flipo.
armor-plated car would be the safe
O el
route.
DeLorean.
But places like this have their advantages. If you're in need of rare goods or illegal cyber,
Todo muy ochentero.
bustling local markets are
Todo
a
el rollo.
place to
Me
start
está dando
your
todo el
search.
rollo, ¿sabes?
The
La
Grand
música a lo
Imperial
mejor es lo que
Mall
más me
is a whole
falla.
other story. It was one of the last developments in Pacifica to lose its funding. Until recently it stood vacant, but now a gang called the Animals has moved in for reasons unknown.
Es demasiado metalera, tío. Un juego así
And that's what we need to learn
puede
from
tener
the
más un
permanent
estilo
trust
más
of the
electrónico, ¿no?
Voodoo Boys, the
Todo
Animals'
electrónico, a fin de
rivals.
cuentas.
What the hell?
Cuidado con lo que me metes, güey.
You take job. You do what I say. So you jack in now.
Of the many gangs in Cyberpunk
La música
2077,
electrónica que tiene
the
ahora
Voodoo
está muy
Boys are the
guapa, ¿eh?
most skilled at using the knife.
Why? What for? You are my vessel now. Through Agwe, I see what you see, hear what you hear.
This mysterious gang of highly skilled netrunners has close ties to the local Haitian community.
You are V. We have been waiting.
Haitians settled in
No
Pacifica in the
encapuchado.
2060s
Espera, que tendremos
after
el Assassin's
natural
Creed.
disasters struck their island and forced them to emigrate en masse. The Voodoo Boys gang formed around this same time, though at a smaller scale. Now the gang effectively
mola, tío.
rules Pacifica. The Voodoo Boys don't usually work with outsiders. Lucky for us, it seems they're prepared to
Ya
make
que
an
matarás
exception
a
this time.
Mr. Hansen.
pollos.
Said you got merc work needs doing.
Still, to earn their trust, we need to
El que haya
prove our
tenido que
worth.
matar al pobre pollo, como
One
ya
of the
verás tú,
Voodoo
lo ha tenido que
Boys'
pasar mal.
higher-ups has offered us a mission. We need to infiltrate the Grande
Mira, tío,
Imperial
como
Mall,
mola, en serio. Es que el
currently
juego me
occupied
flipa
by the
un huevo,
Voodoo
tío.
Boys' deadly enemy, a gang called the Animals.
20, 35.
Los de CD Projekt Red tienen aquí un juegazo, vamos, va a hacer GOTY seguro, ¿sabes?
The camionette. We try to learn where the camionette come from.
The Animals are not your normal gang. Their presence in Pacifica is
The
suspicious.
Animals.
They value might above all else and wear melee combat implants to raise their prowess in combat. Their beverage of choice is juice, a potent strength and speed enhancing concoction. As sought-after bouncers, they're usually dispersed throughout town.
A ver, ya
As
está
skilled
cuadrado.
street-level business
Parece
types,
Hulk.
they've cornered the market in illegal substances and underground live-or-die prize fights. When they converge in one spot, it's for something big. It's then they appoint the fastest and strongest among them as their ad hoc leader. In this case, it's a woman named Sasquatch.
Said you wanted my bet.
That's insane.
No. As far as I remember, you said no bone brain buffaloes on steroids. Afraid that's the cost of doing biz.
Sí,
This
estoy,
is the
estoy
tech
concentrado
Cassie was talking
sintiendo, tío,
about.
la música,
It
¿sabes?
seems non-standard for the animals, and this is where we come in. Getting to the van won't be
La
easy,
música es brutal,
but we're more than
Lo quiero,
qualified
tío,
for
este
the
es un
job,
track en mi
which we can
SoundCloud.
complete in one of many ways.
RPG System, esperaba menos.
The character creation in Cyberpunk 2077 is the kind you'd expect from a full-fledged RPG.
La de
You start
Secret
by
Kit es
choosing your
brutal,
paths,
tío.
important because this unlocks special options at important story junctures. You also fully customize your character using a deep customization system that spans not only your look and style,
Puedes
but also
ponerlo
your abilities.
guay.
Cyberpunk 2077 does not feature fixed classes. Instead,
Ya,
it
el
has a
nivel de
fluid
desarrollo
class
es
that allows
brutal,
players
tío.
to
Qué
mix
bien
and match
organizado
a wide
está.
range of abilities to suit their playstyles. You can create a strong solo character.
Aunque realmente es un juego shooter, pero da igual, tío. Me mola mucho este rollo. Toma. Aunque no es solo shooter, pero vamos. Toma.
Let's see how a solo playstyle in Cyberpunk 2077 might work.
Es Rammer se llama. Toma referencia a la película de Blade Runner de los 80.
So let's wreak some havoc. With our enhanced strength,
Otra música muy molona, tío. Otra de esta banda va a ser brutal. La banda sonora de este juego. Me estoy fijando mucho en que hace críticos cuando dispara.
Enhanced strength lets us force open doors or grab enemies to use as human shields.
Puedes matarlo o no matarlo. Mola mucho. Toma.
So even someone as fast and strong as Sasquatch, the leader of this group of animals, is not impossible to beat for a solo.
Qué ganazas de jugar a este juego, en serio.
But Sasquatch has a different game plan. She's out to jack in and hack us. Let's see how this plays out.
Ready for some fun? Proceed. What's going on?
¿Que nos ha pirateado o qué? ¿Lo que nos pueden hackear, tío? La cuestión es nuestra vida. Ah, vale. Status
It's our
intact.
choice if we want to finish her off or spare her. You're Cyberpunk, your rules. If you'd rather sneak around, hide, and strike from the shadows, no problem. Just develop your net running skills to get around obstacles or hack into enemy tech to have it do the dirty work for you. Net running abilities
Ha
mean
matado,
hacking
Roller.
skills that let us use our cyber deck to breach access points. For this, we fill the buffer of our cyber deck with a string of instructions represented by
Me
these
parece
letters
que va
and
siendo hora de hacerle una canción a
Matching
este
the
juego.
instructions for basic access grants us control of devices connected to this network. The more instructions we match, the more control we gain over elements in the network. We can hack our way through in numerous ways. A quick hack may grant us control of the security camera. Another one should let us tweak the difficulty of the training bot to create a distraction.
Que tienes que matar al pobre robot, hombre. Toma.
With our nanowire, we can even hack this guy's implants from a distance.
Porque siempre pone animals. ¿Y el mismo enemigo o qué?
In this world, almost everything is
Como
connected
recarga,
to a
está
local
guay.
network. And that means it can be hacked.
No, eso es en la portada, mira cómo la han puesto. Animal, ¿ves?
Which
Siempre
brings
pone
us
lo
back
mismo.
to
Esa portada
cyberspace.
fue el que hizo el vídeo de la gente quejándose.
You don't get to do anything in the net
Cybersecurity
unnoticed.
in
There's always
IC.
someone watching. It could be Corpos, or even worse, it could be Netwatch. And that is exactly the case here.
Who is they?
Netwatch. They always out to fuck us.
Netwatch and the Voodoo Boys are like fire and ice. The first of these wants to maintain the old order and protect people from AI anarchy originating from beyond the Black Wall. The Voodoo Boys want to establish contact with the free AIs. They believe this will enable their boundless expansion on the net and grant them the upper hand over Netwatch. Netwatch sees this as the end of the world. Both are right.
Whoa, hey. Easy.
How you deal with the Netwatch agent is entirely
Películas
up to you.
antiguas.
Do we side with the gang? Choosing to be on Netwatch's bad side is never
Viene,
wise.
tío,
But
clandestino.
can we really trust the Voodoo Boys?
You set me up.
Toma.
As you can see, we have many possible options. But in each case, we take a risk.
Think I'll just stick to my plan.
Anda.
Didn't work out well.
Como
In
todos
the
esos
world of
mapas jugables,
Cyberpunk,
flipo.
few things go as planned.
Keanu Reeves.
And that was just a glimpse of how complex the branching storyline in Cyberpunk 2077 can get. Every decision you make will have consequences. Your choices will shape how the world reacts to you and affect your relationships with those around you. One of those relationships is special. Ever heard of Johnny Silverhand? A rebel rocker boy who will be your companion throughout your adventure in Night City?
Come on, really think
Meet
they give a
John
rat's
Cyberpunk.
Like everyone in Cyberpunk 2077,
Mano plateada.
he
Oh,
has his own agenda.
interesante,
You'll
tiene la mano
decide if he'll
plateada.
be your ally or your
Qué bien
enemy.
le queda a Keanu Reeves, tío, tipo
And that shipping
Cyberpunk.
red, the one thanks to which Johnny lives
¿Esto
inside
qué es?
your
¿Una
mind.
1080, tío, que la han metido ahí?
Well, that's a story for another time.
¿Ya ha acabado? Aún queda mucho, ¿no? Mola, mola.
Welcome back. Now, following the deep dive, there is an awful lot to talk about. So I found 3 of the very best. Oh, you look so happy.
Tengo que ser
Well,
los
I
que han
think
creado
just in
Cyberpunk.
case people aren't
Pues por
super
eso que sí.
familiar with Cyberpunk
Pues son unos
2077,
genios.
Why don't you introduce yourself one by one so everybody knows who they're listening to?
Hey, I'm Miles. I'm one of the level designers at CD Projekt Red.
Es el diseñador de
Hello, I'm
niveles.
Pavel, and I'm a lead of the quest team, and it's a great pleasure to be talking to you.
El
So I'm
diseñador
Phyllis, and
de
I'm one of the
peleas.
quest designers, so I work really closely with
coordinador.
Pavel over here.
Oh, thank you guys for being my participants in this video.
Son muy jóvenes,
Let's get
eh.
started because the last demo we saw took place in Watson. This
Ah,
time we're
estos
in
tíos son
Night
unos,
City.
estos tíos
They're
son unos
very
genios, de los
different. That's
mejorcitos
super
de la
important
industria,
for
vamos.
Night City, that it feels different. So what do you need to consider as a level designer when you're building a place like this?
Right, we are diving right into it.
Yeah, let's go. People want to know answers.
Okay, I'm going. So, from a level design point of view, for us it's really important to create these districts, the 6 ones
¿Qué
that we
puede
have
tener
in
este
Night
tío?
City, to
¿5
be
años?
as
16?
different as possible without making it unbelievable, right?
Menos?
And we sort of orient ourselves around sort of how we approached, let's say, Skellige and Novigrad No Man's Land in The Witcher 3. So we're sort of aiming for a very noticeable difference.
Pero saben
This
hablar,
has
no solo se
multiple
fijan en un punto,
purposes,
se
right?
fijan en
First
todos.
off,
Está
we
como
want to
muy
have
natural
variety,
hablando.
right?
Estos
Would
tíos
be
ya
kind
han,
of
ya han
boring
estado
just to have
antes.
a lot of
Bueno,
the
tienen
same
experiencia
throughout
desde
the
The
entire
Witcher.
city. We have one cityscape, so we need to create this kind of variety, and that's actually a really fun creative process as well. And secondly, we need it as a navigational
La
tool.
música me ha
That means that,
encantado.
when you as a player move around the city, you should know where you are simply by looking around. And thankfully, there's a lot of lore that we can sort of dissect and make our own that helps us around, but we also add our own sort of twists to the whole thing, right? So in terms of Pacifica, we know that it's pretty pretty fucked up place, if I
Me
can say
flipa
so.
mucho cómo han puesto palmeras, tío, porque eso es muy
What I
ochentero,
mean
¿sabes?
that is that
Palmeritas por
it's
todos
pretty
lados,
notable that it's,
cisne,
almost
todo
post-apocalyptic,
muy
right?
rosado, aunque
The
no es de
district has
noche.
a rich history that caused it to basically
Pa-
fall into disarray
Parece que la ciudad
after,
tiene dos vidas,
it
dos
was
caras.
initially meant to become the city's crown jewel of tourism.
Welcome to
But clearly,
Pacifica.
as you can see from the footage, that
Zona
actually
de
didn't
combate.
quite work out that way. And now you'll actually see things like burning cars on the streets, right? And it's very deserted, so
La moto, tío,
much
eso
unlike
mola
Watson
muchísimo.
that we
Lo de la
showed
moto me ha
last year, where
encantado.
the streets are busting with
Ojalá
people,
metan la de
here there's
Akira
way
o la de
less,
Tron.
because it's simply a very dangerous place that you don't want to really go if you don't have to. And again, that's one of these things that once you enter the district from the rest of Night City, you'll actually notice that, right? And of course, all the destruction going on and all of the, suffering and pain.
Our favourite
and
things.
violence, as it were.
So what kind of things are exclusive to Pacifica? Because you don't want people to just come for the quest and then leave and that's it. You want people to keep coming back to this district. So what can people find there?
This is what I meant when I said it's a very fun process to think of these kind of things, because the sort of characteristics that we give the district.
Vamos a adelantarlo un poco porque esto no está traducido, poco entendemos aquí.
And amongst the destruction, you'll still find people living there.
Me da cosa porque seguramente estarán diciendo cosas interesantes, pero como no lo he encontrado traducido,
use this sort of example to sit down and think, okay, how will we do this in all these kind of different play styles, right? So perhaps one way would be to convince a guard that would be stationed next to the door.
Ya aquí están hablando generalmente de
through social kind of path, or you could take a squad network by sort of taking an enemy out and having an extra option to breach into the squad's network. The nanowires actually allow you to influence
a ver que he visto algo aquí al final
animation looks like. Your
y ya acabamos el vídeo, que es 21 minutos de vídeo. What the fuck?
Sense of progression and your character evolving as you play the game, and I think that's pretty special sort of experience if you combine it with the way that you can customize your guns, man, and kind of really have this feeling that this is my signature gun, right? And I'm really good with it.
Right, guys, thank you so much. I know there is one thing we haven't talked about from the demo, and that is a little bit more about the gangs. We spoke about the Voodoo Boys a bit, but we haven't even really spoken about the animals.
¿Son cosas mías o la SEO se parece mucho a una de The Witcher 3?
I thought I'd actually throw out to
Pues llevo pensando un rato que lo estoy viendo.
Godfather himself. So I caught up with Mike Consmith at Gamescom to ask him, who are the Voodoo Boys and who are the animals?
Hi, my name is Mike Consmith, and I'm the guy who killed your cyberpunk characters. And today I'm going to talk to you about two very important things. I'm going to talk to you about animals, and I'm going to talk to you about the Voodoo Boys. So, let's take the Voodoo Boys. When I created them many, many years ago, I was looking at kind of a really interesting idea, which is what we would now call cultural appropriation. What happens when somebody comes in and tries to adopt a culture that they know little or nothing about and does it really badly? But one of the great things about having a few years is that you get a chance to do some redos. And one of the best ones is what we have with the Voodoo Boys now. The Voodoo Boys in 2077 are really Voodoo Boys. They inherited the name, but it was sort of a natural fit.
Me da a mí que este es más inteligente que el tío de The Witcher, ¿eh?
Dominican Republic, and they were the real thing. And they managed to take a lot of the elements of their original culture and meld it into the world of 2077 to bring that cyberpunk
También este no es escritor de libros, es más bien creador de juegos de mesa, de horror de mesa.
But they're not really. They're more of a cultural phenomenon. They're more a way of cultural exploration. And I think it's really cool.
Ojalá no cambien el logo del
cyberpunk future that we normally wouldn't see. On the other hand, they're the animals. Way, way back in my dark, dank past, I used to lift. Don't anymore, but I used to. And I would see guys like the animals in the gym I went to. Guys who lived to get strong, and get really strong, and get really strong. The animals are like those guys. They're in it to basically build themselves up and become
Esto seguramente
the
saldrá en
tigers
el
of their
juego, porque tiene toda la
particular
pinta,
urban
¿sabes? Le
jungle. They
pones
want to
unos
be
neones
big,
y
they
unas
want to be
gafas
bad,
RGB
and they want
y
you
para
to fear
adentro.
them just because they exist.
Y partes robóticas.
And you know, it's really easy to fear a guy who blots out the sun when he walks by you. But the animals are very simple. They have an ethos: get big, lift, get strong, lift. So unlike the voodoo boys, who have a culture, the animals have a thing. And contrasting that is interesting, because in 2077, you get a chance to see that not every gang is the same as every other gang, and what motivates them depends on the people you meet on the street. Check it out. This is Mike Pondsmith saying, I'm still here to kill your Cyberpunk character.
We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into Cyberpunk 2077. Now, don't forget, you can join us on Twitter, Facebook, forums, and even join us on Discord to make sure you stay up to date on all of our news. Cyberpunk 2077 is launching April 16th, 2020, and is available for pre-order now. On behalf of everybody working on Cyberpunk and here at CD Projekt Red, we thank you for watching, your ongoing support, and we can't wait for you to explore Night City.
En 2020 me voy de cabeza por el juego. Pues vale. Ha sido una increíble experiencia. Y evidentemente se viene una canción. Se viene una canción porque necesito expresar mi arte con este increíble mundo que CD Projekt Red se está montando. Y en cuanto acabe de grabar esto, vamos, le voy a poner un tweet y le voy a felicitar porque currazo increíble que se están marcando. Y hay que valorar el esfuerzo y el trabajo de los demás. Nos vemos en próximos vídeos. ¡Hasta luego!